I was thinking of we haven't done on some online retreats during the past year and a half. We have done some simple yoga practices, physical practices, but we haven't done them in a while. But let's next, you know, I think that most of us anyway had a meal, so the meal is still digesting. So let's take a moment to help the digestion a little bit and then do some simple, easy yoga. So the way how we do, how we help, how we mingle the digestive fire a little bit, it's just sit and place your attention lightly inside the belly, behind the navel. Just feel the area immediately behind the navel, inside the gut, and keep feeling it. Stay attentive. Don't focus hard, strongly, lightly, very lightly. All right, I think that's enough. Do you notice, do you have some, this is something that we often do on retreats after meals. Do you notice what it does? Do you have some sensations? Show me, thumbs up, yes, thumbs down, no. Yeses and nos, both. Okay, well, I'll just say that there is a reason, there is a reason why this is done, and this is not actually a, I don't remember where this is not actually like a Buddhist meditation practice or anything like that. I think Tina is visiting me today, and we have been talking about shiatsu. Shiatsu is a Japanese massage style, because she is studying shiatsu with John Lewis, who is also my shiatsu teacher, and we have been talking about shiatsu practices, and I think that I learned this practice of placing the attention behind the navel from John originally, when I studied him almost 20 years ago. So the way how I feel it, what happens is that, you know, usually the stomach is when you put in the food into the belly, then there is some, I don't think if swelling is the correct sensation, but that, you know, that fullness of the belly. So there's kind of that kind of swelling. I'm not talking about swelling like being ill in the belly, but just this swelling after having eaten, and that swelling eases up. As well as there, you know, the way how I feel it is that there is this kind of, it gives a moment, it establishes calm in the digestive process that is happening in the gut. So this is why we do it, because, you know, it helps a little bit, you know, if we, and when we do in our style of practice, you know, there's a lot of dynamic action. So, you know, we want the digestive organs to do their work properly, and we don't want to interfere with that with our practices. Because this is actually a good point, that there is a lot of yogic practice, also Buddhist Dharma practice, that is done on the expense of health. And that is very foolish. Very, very foolish. Like, I might have told you, I remember, I can come up with a couple of examples, but when I was in the monastery in Japan, there was this, I might have told this before, but there was this, in the monastery in Japan, there was this senior monk who was maybe 55, 60 years old, and, you know, he had been practicing Rinzai Zen Buddhism, which is very masculine and very dynamic, since his 20s. He hadn't been a monk all his life, but, you know, he started his practice in the early 70s in Japan as a monk, and then he moved back to his home country, and then came back later and became a monk again. But what happened to him is that, and this happens to quite a few people, because what happens is that people get this very masculine, very hard, very rigid, very tense way of doing the Dharma practice and viewing the Dharma practice. Do you know what I'm talking about? So a lot of Buddhist methods have this kind of strive, you know, make huge effort, and, you know, unfortunately often that kind of masculine striving is done on the expense of health. And the outcome of that is that, like in the example of this monk, is that he was 55, 60 years old, and he didn't lie down for sleep. So he would be meditating all nights, and the result of that, because he wasn't getting rest properly, was that he blanked out. It was such a strain on his system that he would actually like go and blank out like this on the food table when he would be doing his work in the monastery, whatever. Sometimes he would just go into this blank state. But also because he wasn't resting, he wasn't at all listening to his body. He would, during morning recitations, every now and then he would piss himself, and he was completely unaware of it. Can you imagine such a practice called Dharma practice? It's completely, it's stupidity, really. I remember when the first time after the morning recitation, I was helping someone in the kitchen or something, and then somebody brought this sitting cushion from the recitation hall, from the ritual hall, and it was all covered in piss. And I was like, what the hell, why is this covered in piss? And he just very casually said that, well, because this monk pissed on it again. And he said it like it was not a thing, because it kept happening all the time. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Why would anybody do that? Why would anybody encourage that? And yeah, there's so many examples of this of monks who just strive so hard, but also lay people get influences of that kind of mentality of Dharma practice also. You really shouldn't put your health in danger, because when there is damage on the health, it is very, very difficult to get back normal health. And actually, the reason why all that striving is encouraged is because they don't have proper, exact practices that would pinpoint, that would address their existential problems. And so then they have some practices that do something, but might be, more or less relevant, but doesn't really hit the point, the core point. So they have these practices that have secondary effect, and then they try to balance it, try to make it work by striving a lot. This is unfortunately the story of a lot of methods, and that's why you have like retreats that retreats where you sit 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day. Just silently sitting there trying to do something, or trying not to do anything, trying to stop doing. That is a definition of waste of time in Dharma practice. What is that question, Monica? Status quo of the Bhumis? What does that mean?
I was following very interested your description of those monks, because I've worked together with some of them in the macrobiotic kitchen here in Hamburg, and it was really hell on earth to me, because they were screaming and shouting and throwing pans, and because they got very stressed.
Yes.
What you were telling us means that they haven't had any idea how to see the status quo of the Bhumis, or?
What is the meaning of status quo?
If you told us how to get knowledge about how far one is coming up with this practice by watching if the boomies are closed or open, status quo means the moment how it is now, if there is an open boomy or not. So they don't know how to.
Yes,
This is astonishing.
definitely. That is the to have ways to measure one's advancement. Extremely rare. Extremely rare. And usually it's in pragmatic dharma. There is this modern movement in dharma called pragmatic dharma, where you speak about things openly and you share about your experiences and you share about methods that work or don't work. So, you know, there is this kind of movement happening within Buddhist dharma. But the way how we use bhumis is both verbal description as well as energetic reading. So usually, like mostly it's analysis of stage of practice is done solely through verbal description. Just discussing with, you know, what kind of experience you had, and when that person describe it, you know, you get some sense where it might be. But yeah, I wouldn't really want to go into that in more detail. I've written about this a lot, and you know, speaking about this subject, I would necessarily have to be critical about what most others do. And I don't want to be too critical anymore. I've been so critical for so many years that I just wouldn't want to go into that. But it is simply a fact that measuring systems are rare to come about. Mostly in the most of Buddhist dharma, not to even mention others, people may or may not have awakening experiences, insights, but even then they don't know where they are. But bhumi openings and bhumi perfections are universal. So if you have awakening experiences, meaning bhumi openings, and then perfections that are also kind of awakening experiences, these are universal, applies to everybody. So even if you are a Theravada Buddhist, even if you are a Zen Buddhist, Vajrayana Buddhist of any Tibetan school, if you are Korean, Chinese, if you are a Christian mystical practitioner, if you are a Sufi and you have awakening experience, it necessarily follows the 13 bhumi map, because everybody has the same energy centers. So yeah, that's how it works. There was something else about, yes, as you mentioned, Monica, like fits of anger in the place that you had been. This was also the case with the monk, that he would lose his temper about completely random things and would be like a raging hell for a moment, and then, you know, get calm again. But yeah, his system was pretty messed up. I hope he's doing fine now. This was, you know, 16 years ago when I was there. So I hope he's doing fine now. But people should question things more. Western education, the strong side of Western education is that we learn to think, or we should learn to think. Western education encourages analytical thinking. And this we should apply also to Dharma. Ask questions. Ask those questions that are not commonly asked. And we have Pemako because I've kept asking and questioning. All right. So let's do some standing Qigong yoga practices. You might want to make my window bigger, so because I have to step a little away from the camera. Kävisitkö Tiina laittaa ton pömpelin kiinni, niin se ei surise? So we will do simple practices. We will open up the body, open up the joints, warm up the muscles, do some stretching. But then also let's start by, you all have learned how to connect the bumi pillars, doing it without physical movement. So first, next, we will do that with physical movement. But maybe before going to that, put your feet about shoulder width. You can't see my feet, but like shoulder width. Then bend your knees a little bit so that you're not standing with straightened knees, but a little bit bent and elastic. And leave them bent. If you're standing knees straight, this is very difficult posture to stand for longer than a couple of minutes. So this is why in standing meditation practices you always have knees bent a little bit. And this, what happens then in the pelvic area is that you kind of sit down with your pelvis, so that the lower back is not arched like this. So bend your knees and the arc in the lower back straightens. And this is already very comfortable. Starts to feel comfortable. Relax your shoulders, completely relaxed arms, relaxed chest. And yesterday I was talking about the in the West we have the beauty ideal of pulling the stomach in. Don't do that. Let the stomach be relaxed. If the stomach is kept in, the stomach muscles stay tense all the time, then you are inevitably breathing with the upper part of the lungs. And when you do that, it messes up the whole natural flow of vital energy in the system. So arms relaxed, shoulders relaxed, chest relaxed, belly out. You can elongate your neck a little bit, so you, as if you were pushing with the crown of your head just slightly, pushing towards the ceiling. So this stretches the neck. So when you get a natural stretch, naturally elongated neck, leave it like that. Stand there for a moment and recognize the basic state. So from the point of view of mind and awareness, this is Ati Yoga. Ati Yoga or Chokchen. Then, as you stand there, you can think about the bumi pillars below the pelvic floor towards the core of the earth, and you can think about the upper pillar above the head. Just get a sense of them. And then we will connect those two pillars with our hands. So reach to the sky, connect with the hands, fingers, and then bring it down. Bringing it to the body, through the body, bend your hips and reach downwards. Same thing, connect the pillar below. Bring the energy from the Mahasiddha Bhumis from below into the body and continue this. From heaven down, from earth up. relax as you're doing it. Breathe freely. Don't hold your breath. Don't tense muscles that don't require tensing. Enjoy. Feel the body with the energy of Mahasiddha Bhumis and feel the aura with the energy of Mahasiddha Bhumis. You're all familiar with combing practice, so use it. A few more times. You need to feel it. Then come up and reach to heaven one more time. Bring the blessings down once more, and then let arms stop on the sides of the body. Relax, feel. You should be able to feel the difference. Good. Then we continue with a breathing practice. So from the sides, bring your hands up, inhale, reach to the sky, stretch a bit. Then exhale, bring hands down along the center line. Inhale, exhale. Find a rhythm that feels comfortable. Deep inhalations, deep exhalations. As you reach up, straighten the knees. As the hands come down, bend the knees. Few more. One more. And then after exhalation, leave the arms hanging again. If you feel some numbness, tiredness in the feet, you can shake or move the ankles, move the feet a little bit. And then we start opening the joints. So let's first start from the neck. So circulate the head from the neck. Change direction. And then let the head stop at its place. Feel for a moment, feel the difference in the area of the neck, throat and the whole head. See the difference. Good. Next, the other shoulder. So start circulating your arm in a big circle. Slowly. So it is as if with your fingertips you are drawing a large circle and you're actually reaching, extending with your fingertips so that there is a stretching movement. Reaching far away with your fingertips. Change direction. Good. Then the other arm. Feel the body from the inside. Feel the shoulder. Feel the areas that move from the inside. Feel the areas that don't move from the inside. Change direction. Good. Let it stop. Feel the difference in the shoulders. Good. Then elbows next. Place the fingers of the other hand lightly on the elbow. Then open the hand this way and then the other way. Good. Then change arm. Feel from the inside. Good. You can move your feet again a little bit if they get tired. Then wrists. So keep your arm pretty much straight and then start circulating the hand. Not too fast. See the rhythm the way how I do it. Change direction. Good. Change wrist. Change direction. Good. See, feel the difference in the wrists and elbows, arms, neck. Very easy to notice the difference. Then let's stretch the fingers. So take a hold of your thumb and then stretch. So stretching the thumb backwards. So the muscle here stretches. Good. Then the next two fingers, index finger and middle, place your hand, the fist in the middle, and then stretch the fingers apart and back. So there is a stretching felt in the muscles here. Then the next pair, middle finger and ring finger, same thing. Putting the hand and doing this, pushing apart and backwards. And then the last pair, ring finger and little finger. Good. Same thing with the other hand. First the thumb. Then index finger and middle finger. middle and ring. And then ring and little. Good. Relax arms. Feel fingers, wrists, elbows, shoulders, neck. Good. And then we'll start to work with the spine. This area here. So the area of the chest and lower part of the body. So we will do the next one with the breath. So inhale, spread your wings to the sides, spring chest and stomach to the front. Exhale, curve your back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Continue in your own rhythm. Few more. One more. Good. Stand up. Feel for a moment. Let the breathing become steady. Good. Then we are stretching. So with inhalation, bring the other arm up while the other one goes down next to the thigh. Exhale, back to the center. Inhale, the other side. Exhale to the center. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, back. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, back. Continue on your own. Straight knees when you stretch to the side. Bend knees when you come to the middle. Feel the body from the inside. Few more. Good. Come to basic stance. Stop for a moment. Do you notice the difference in the spine, in the torso? Good. And then we do some, what do you call that? Like a spiral movement, like a corkscrew. So keep your feet keep the knees bent a little bit, and then start arms are completely relaxed. Relax from the shoulder. Your head is turning left and right. And as your body turns left and right, you can, when you reach the far movement to the left, stretch a bit, stretch back like a, help with the muscles a little bit, so that you turn a little bit more, little bit farther. The same thing on both sides. Good. Then let the movement become smaller, 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 and stop. Feel the difference in the upper body. Good. And then we come to the hip area. So if you like, you can place your hands like this, or you can keep them down. But what we do next is circulate your hips. Like drawing a circle with the tip of your tailbone. Change direction. Feel from the inside. Good. Let it stop. Stand for a moment, feel. Good. Then knees. Place your feet close together. Put your hands over your knees and then circulate. Breathe. Relax. Change direction. Good. Stand up. You can relax the legs. Feel the difference in the hips and knees. Very good. And then ankle. Change direction. Then the other ankle. Onks tää vähän kuuma? Change direction. Good. And then what we will do with the feet and toes is that just like you, well, we can first do it with hands. So squeeze fists and stretch open. Squeeze fists, stretch open. Continue. You can do it a bit faster. Good. Then we do the same thing with the foot. Make a fist and stretch toes. Make a fist, stretch toes. Keep doing. Good. Then the other one. Make a fist, stretch open. Very good. So now we have gone through all the... oh, wait a second, there's one more. Jaws and face. So let's do that. Very important joint. Very rarely at yoga classes you see practices for jaw joint. So let's do that. Or you can circulate your jaws. You can also let the face muscles express themselves freely. Circulate both ways, both directions. You can also do it up and down. All right. And now feel the whole body. Now we have covered all the joints of the body. Open the joints as well as warmed up the muscles a little bit. Feels very good, doesn't it? Good. And then we will do some simple movement where you do this. So take like a stance where you're not standing feet parallel but sideways, like this. So not parallel but sideways. And then like this. Weight of your body is shifting from other foot to the other foot and back. At the same time, when you come to the front, you extend your arms and fingers a little bit, and as you come back, you draw the arms and elbows back. Just a very soft movement. Swaying back and forth. Your hands can be low, like waist level, or it can be higher, like a solar plexus level. You can alternate the height of the hands, and you can alternate the width of the hands. Your hands can be 1 meter apart or just 30 centimeters apart, or anything between. Remember, this is Hatha Yoga. Relax into the movement. Copy my rhythm. Front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back. With soft knees, relaxed shoulders, breathing with the belly. Now you can change to the other side, where the other foot is in the front. Bend your knees. soft elastic movement. Okay, come back to the basic stance for a moment and then do this. Like a rag doll. Shake your arms and hands. And then do the same with legs and feet. Good. For a moment, see how you feel. How the body feels. Good. Then let's take 15 minutes. 15-minute break. Thank you.